Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, December 18th, 2025. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not financial advice. Trade your charts, not mine. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. All right. This is our only session today, so we'll do away with risk disclosure. Flat on the micro Russell. Crude is flat. Took a full loss on the short trade for its first trade of the morning. YM in a get in sync short. Pound Aussie took a full loss on the long. That was a 19 tick risk. That's going to be 95 tick, or 19 pip risk, 95 pip loss on all 5 positions. Unleaded also with a first trade loss. 59, so down 118. Soybeans in a get in sync long. Actually, the proper get in sync would be the latest trade, so that would be the add-on here. That has also triggered in same stop, a little bit larger trade. And so we'll wait for market open in a minute. Started to say less than 2 minutes, just rolled over. And the YM now goes to a long trade. No adjustment since we're not already in a trade. The market's still not open yet. Just barely large enough to go target 1. Comes down, tests the 50. And that should be market open. Soybeans with a short trade. YM stops out in the long and then bounces up on the market open. So we're flat on the YM. Flat on the micro Russell. Soybeans is flat. It has a short trade now. To get in sync with. Oh, and yeah, I'm not going to be able to. That's going to be close. And oops, several bars print in the same second, so I can't lock onto the objects on those bars. I can. All right, YM picked up a long. Let's see if we. That looks like it definitely should have gotten in it. That one just wasn't watching it. That one's going to be a one and done. Yep, that was a target 2. Not big enough at target 1. And a big trail here. Actually, there was our stop on the YM. 632 from an NC. Let's check on our timing here. 9, 10, 11. Ooh. Nope. That one was too fast. No trade. So the short then is our first attempt. 3205. 7, 7. And that one's too fast. So no trades as yet on the YM. Long trade was a break even on the micro Russell. Nothing on crude or unleaded. Still waiting for first executable trade on the YM. We're almost into our micro NQ. I'm going to move unleaded over top of the pound Aussie. It seems to be just going back and forth in consolidation right now. We can take a look at that a little later. We are at money management on that trade, and it's too early, so that's gone too far. And there we have a trade we should be able to get in. Short trade on the YM. Definitely in now. Big enough to target 1. Long trade now on the YM. That's a stop and reverse at 93. Saves us 3 ticks if it gets there. So for the moment, we're still in the short. Micro NQ pushing down. Getting target 3, looking for target 4. Not involved in this trade. It was too early. Unleaded picking up a short trade. Crude with nothing yet. All right, YM still in the short. Stop and reverse cancels. It just went past its stop. So I would keep the stop at the push the stop back to the original 96. First two trades were too fast to execute. So this is our first, and there is money management and target. So it'll be a one and done session, even with the two trades too fast to execute. Break even stop there. Actually starting to trail 552. Micro NQ out of its trade, out of the short trade that was too early. Soybeans still flat. Unleaded reaching for money management. 538, the trailing stop. $5.36. 531 and stopping out. Yeah, 531 from 559. One tick above target one, so we get 29 and 28. 57. One and done session. We'll put unleaded up there now. That unleaded did hit money management. It's like, yeah, crude just gave us a little short trade. Set up at 14. Eef. 200 at 13, 50 at 12. Yeah, let's put it at 11. All three moving averages right there. So I am going to put my entry on that one at 11. Stop at 41. Micro NQ and the Micro Russell with short trades. Soybeans goes too far on its short, so we'll look for a new trade there. Unleaded through target one, looking for target two. And money management on the Micro NQ and the Micro Russell, looks like. There's target 2 on the micro NQ. So that's a win. Target 3. So quickly getting positive on the micro NQ for its first trade. And stopping out for a win. Target 3 and trailer almost to target 2. Long setup now. That touched and then went to the stop. That's avoidable. Not enough time to have executed that. Short. Break-even stop on the micro Russell trade. Crude has not hit the adjusted entry. Wow. Bang, bang, bang. We get the avoidable long. Short, definitely get into that. That's a loss. Long goes to money management. That's a break even. Now we come back short, and that has hit break even. So win, loss, break even. And break even on the fourth trade now. Trying to get to and looks like we may get just another break even on this micro NQ trade. $11 is not where I would normally put an entry, but with all three moving averages right there, two of them below within a tick of the entry, I will choose to at least get a tick or two below those. We did go break even on the micro NQ. Yeah, that was adjusted down a tick. Not going to do anything with it right now. Long trade now on micro NQ. Another spike to the entry and pull back, so we'll get in sync. Adjusting around the spike wouldn't be a bad call either. There's, you're definitely triggered into it. +11 minutes from our 10 a.m. crude mini session. One reminder, I will be dark for the next 3 weeks. Not all the next 3 weeks, but until 3 weeks from today, January the 8th, will be my next session. I'll be traveling the next two and a half weeks, leaving tomorrow, returning Wednesday the 7th. And that is a loss on, I think, yeah, there's, hit the stop. So that's a second loss, a win, 2 losses, 2 break evens. I think we are about even though, because we got targets 2 and 3, and trailer at target 2 for the final 2 positions. So we're going to be very close to even, probably slightly negative. We could get not going to get along on the micro Russell. We could get one on the micro NQ here. Nope, we never turned it red. So I'm not getting along there. Never got a crossover to the short side with the cat lines. Unleaded still short. Crude has not triggered in. 50 is holding. 56.13. I have my entry at 56.11. 56.14 was the plotted entry. It's a potential short trade on the micro Russell. Also potential short on micro NQ if this closes down. There is the short on micro NQ. definitely in the trade. Watch also the short on the micro Russell is triggered in. And that is loss number 3 on the micro NQ. That ends the session. That is a loss on the micro Russell. Break even and a loss for 2 trades. Long trade. Yep, that reverses at the stop. So 96, or let's see, 37.6 to, so that'll be 39 flat for the, gotta move up 4 ticks. And we do have money management, and it's a break-even trade. So we have 2 break-evens and a loss on the micro Russell. Done on the micro NQ, so we'll bring unleaded back there. 3 losses, a win, and 2 break-evens. That was the final trade, either any way you slice it. 3 losses or 6 trades. Short trade is on the micro Russell. Hitting money management. There. Yep, that would have gone down a tick. Trying to reach target. There it is, target 3. So we will move down to target 4. And it hits that as well. Micro Russell trailing. Unleaded still short. Crude has not triggered into not triggered the adjusted entry. Triggered unadjusted, but not with my adjustment to 56.11. Looks like we've come, yeah. Our trailer on unleaded has come down to 126. Keeping it at the break-even stop might not be a bad play either. Keep it above that swing. But I'll go ahead and move it. All right. Target 4 and target 2 trail, and we now go long on the micro Russell. Okay, wasn't looking at it. We'll have to track this manually. It looks like probably a valid trade, but I would have to break it down. We mark it up, and then we can take a look. We need a tick there. I won't put that on until we find out if it's a valid trade or not. So we're going to duplicate it. In a new tab. And it hits the stop again. So definitely, if it's valid, it's a full loss. So put a vertical line there. Make it a 4-second chart. All right, there is our time marker. All right, we hit the entry. No, absolutely no chance to have gotten in that and touched the stop. So that's not a valid trade. It's an avoided trade. So we'll do away with that one. That is a no trade. And we stop out on unleaded. Target 1 traders pick up 34. Entry at 134 to 126. So we get 8 ticks on the trailer. Target 2 traders get 16. Target 1 traders get 42. And we were 118 down, so still down 76 for target 1. 102 for target 2. $20 SMA is separating on crude a bit. We still have the 50 and 200 right together at 56.13, and maybe it's 56.14. And we have a little bit of a crossover there. Yeah, 14 and 13. The short trade has triggered in unadjusted, but adjusted, we're down below those moving averages. And given crossover there can extend the crossover filter, and I'd say, you know, take the order off for the moment. Wait through these at least 8 bars after it crosses over. Because that crossover will prevent us going short. So I would wait with the adjusted entry. Possible long trade coming. $41 for an entry, which is the stop. There it is. $10 a.m. crude. No, let's see. No, not quite. My data's running behind by a couple of minutes. We actually haven't hit that entry, so we're technically still in the short, or still with the short trade. All right, now it did trigger in. It is a 10 a.m. session trade. Pulling back. This time we have a stop at 13, down below those moving averages. That 9 a.m. session was a loser. And our adjustment did keep us out of the short. Let's see where the long is going to take us. Unleaded with a short trade now. That does trigger in. Pound Aussie still flat, and soybeans picks up a long trade. Now that is a get in sync because it had to wait for confirmation from the histogram. And we did touch the entry on the subsequent bar, it looks like. Wasn't watching how fast it was, but and there's the entry again, so we're in the trade. First trade of the morning on soybeans. Have to wait 45 minutes for it, or crude testing the 50 EMA. We can have a filtered short. That's the crossover filter. One bar before the eighth bar. Entry at 19. Looks like, yeah. Given the position of that trade, I'm not even going to be interested in getting in sync with it. Unleaded, moving down toward money management. Not much going on. I think we did finish up with the micro Russell. I may not have called the last trade or two. Looks like so far we're surviving in the long trade on crude. Short on unleaded. And that's unleaded coming back up to 50 EMA. Crude starting to head back upward. Soybeans is long. Unleaded is short. Crude is long. Filtered trade on, that's a squeeze zone on the pound Aussie. YM, micro Russell, and micro NQ are done. Good time for questions. Still in the long. And we have a short trade on the pound Aussie. Not a lot of movement right now in anything. Short setup. Pound Aussie short triggers in. Unleaded, still hanging up. Oh, interesting. It went up, then came back down to the 50 again. Go back up. That's the question. Half hour into the, almost a half hour in. Micro Russell and the YM pushing up, pushing higher. Stop and reverse. Possibility for soybeans. Data's back in sync. And we are right at the entry. $52.5 for the entry. Still in the long for the moment. Unleaded taking heat. Crude coming back up to the entry, which is a good thing for it. Soybean still in the long. Pound Aussie still short. Unleaded still short, back down to its entry. Crude pulling back from it down below its entry again. YM and Micro Russell pushing higher again. Slow progression. No chance. Unleaded down below the 50 EMA again. Soybeans within a tick of reversing the short. Still long. Found Aussie back at the entry. That seems to be a rather common trait in the trades right now. Is they keep coming back to the entries. Sideways movement. Crude looks like an upward drift. Probably the best thing that could happen is unleaded get down to its money management. Actually, that would be kind of ideal. Get down to money management, bounce up off the 200 EMA. Give us a long trade, stay in our crude long. Soybeans did stop and reverse. So we bring our stop on that up 57 3/4. Target 2 comes down to 48 flat. Target 1 to 49 3/4. So we go from 56 flat to 52 and a half. 3.5 points. 14 ticks, so we're down 14 points on 4 positions. Pound Aussie swinging back up, testing the 50 EMA now. Crude still hanging around, as is unleaded. Unleaded around the 50s, as is crude. Unleaded back to the entry again. Imagine that. Unleaded seems to be going more sideways than anything else. Crude looks like a very, very slight upward drift. Looks like it's primarily sideways as well. Going nowhere. Soybeans, unleaded, pound Aussie, and crude. Got enough going on to stick around with it. Maybe. Pound Aussie back at the entry. Seems to be getting to be a refrain. And there's a potential stop and reverse on unleaded. 141, so that'll take it to 146. Stop and reverse adjustment. Four ticks puts it 145, and then key level that to 146. So we go from 124 to 146, 42 tick risk. On the reversal, it's another 84 ticks. Definitely going to put us in a pretty good size hole. Not a lot of time to dig out. Very likely to be a losing session today. Markets settling in for midday, it looks like. And let it back down to the 50 EMA. Looks like crude came down to the 50 and bounced. Unleaded does trigger into the long. All right, looks like we have a stop and reverse on crude. That's at 22, which puts it one tick above the 50. I'd take it down to 19. I don't like it, but that's what I would do with it. And it's right at the end of our session time. So unless it triggers in the next 45 seconds, that's an exit point only. Yeah, I certainly don't like that. Sitting right above the 50 with the 200 down below it as well. It's triggered unadjusted. Adjusted would be 22. Still just at 23. There's 22 now. So that triggers without our chart level adjustment. And we are past 11 o'clock. So I wouldn't take the trade, but I would use the 19 as a stop. See if the 50 will keep us in it. So soybeans is still in the short, unleaded, stopped and reversed to long. Crude is still in the long for the 10 a.m. session with the chart level adjustment to 19. Looks like 19 keeping us in, got down to 20. All right, this is just waiting to end for an end of this trade. It's not going very far. It's already after almost 5 after 11. Pound Aussie took a run toward the stop, now back below the entry on the short. Soybeans testing the 20 SMA. That's the That blue and red line, that is our trend indicator. It's also a 20 simple moving average. Now swinging back up to the quarter again. We got two swings down to 20. So 19 looks like a good place for the stop. What, six tick? That's the risk by 6 ticks. Yeah, 13 is our stop. Well, now it's pushing upward again. We go up to 37. I believe it's time to call it a morning, folks. That will do it for today's session, I think. Still haven't resolved that 10 a.m. crude trade. We'll have to track it manually from here since it did trigger the unadjusted short. Pound Aussie hits money management. So we were 95 pips down. 16 pips on offer at target 2. Actually 32 pips. There'll be 2 positions coming off there. $22 and $28. So another 50 for targets 3 and 4. If we can get down below target 4, it's 82 of our 95, so we need 13 pips on the trailer. entry was 242. We'd need to get down to 219. 241 is going to be our stop. Yeah, I'm sorry, not 19, 29 is where we need the trailer to get break even, assuming we get through all 4 targets. Crude and unleaded still not going anywhere to speak of. Never did trigger the short or stop us out at 19. 19 still a good stop level. That stop and reverse is still valid, so 19 would be our stop, our exit point. Unleaded back down to the 50 again. Crude, right at 20 SMA. 56.29. I was hoping to see if Pound Aussie would get to at least target 2. Didn't quite make it, almost. Target 2 at 226. You got 271, so 11 ticks away. Crude and unleaded just not going anywhere. And pound Aussie's not going to get us the target right now. So I'm going to call you in about 3 weeks. Have a good one.